Hey, everybody. Glad to see everyone. Um, let's see here. I am very excited to introduce everyone that's following the final experiment to people who applied for, put an entry in for the golden ticket. I've enjoyed receiving these entries because I'm learning a lot about people, learning their story. They say that it's impossible to dislike someone when you know their story. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. I also want to say this, which is that this golden ticket experience and offer has really re-energized me in the final experiment because it gets a little bit hard to maintain your excitement when the flat Earth side is just constantly putting it down, turning down offers for their trips to be paid for. And so people who put in entries on the flat Earth side for the golden ticket showed a lot of excitement. And so thank you. So this has been, this has filled my cup for sure. Okay. Before we meet the finalists and make a decision here, I do want to say a couple of things. One is I don't have a second monitor. And so live streaming without a second monitor is not easy. So I'll do my best. First thing I'd like to say, I'm just reading off my notes here, is that we received entries from 5 continents. So 8 countries that span 5 continents. So that was very, very exciting. Obviously, this is being watched all over the world. I also do want to say this, which is that unfortunately, over half of the entries did not follow the instructions. And I gave specific instructions for a reason, which is that when you go to a place like Antarctica, you have to be able to follow instructions. Your life depends on it. So it's a very, very harsh climate in that part of the world. But that's okay. Enough people did follow the instructions, and we're going to meet some of them today. Now, I have to call out before we start 2 people specifically that made entries. And I want to apologize ahead of time for calling you out, but I feel like I have no choice. Each one of these people did something that I think deserves to be stated. And so the first one is this guy right here. He made a video entry, and I clearly stated in the rules that you would need to make an email entry. And so this guy was disqualified right from the outset. I'm not even going to turn on his audio on this video here, because if you don't follow the rules, you don't really deserve to be heard. So you're the first one that was disqualified. Now, the second one, man, I don't know why this rubbed me the wrong way, but it did. And so I just want to make a quick note of it. So Dan the Waterman, if you're watching right now, your entry was interesting, to say the least. You and I have spoken once. I don't remember when. It was on one of the interviews I've done. But Dan the Waterman did make an entry, and he did follow the rules, but he asked for $10,000 on top of having his trip paid for to go to Antarctica. And so that just seemed a little bit over the top for me with the expense of going to Antarctica and what it costs. That just seemed a little over the top. So I wanted to mention that. Okay, so here's how this is going to go. We are going to introduce the audience to some of the finalists, and they're not all here yet. So hopefully they will show up. But I want you guys to meet and to see and to hear from those who I have been communicating with and those who I have heard some of their story. And I'm going to explain why I chose them as a finalist. And you're going to get to hear from them. And then at the end, we're going to put everybody up on the screen and we will take one away at a time until we are left with the golden ticket winner. So here we go. Let's see here. I am going to do this alphabetically just to make it easy. And so the first person is Brian. Let me pull Brian up here. Brian, how are you?
Hey, man. How you doing, Will?
Great. You want to introduce yourself? Can you introduce yourself?
I heard you perfect before, and then you started robot. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, I just want you to introduce yourself.
Microphone check. Microphone check.
I can hear you. It's just a little broken up. Now you're muted.
All right, give me a mic check.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir, I can.
All right, great. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Brian Leake. I've been a flat earther for about 8 years. My passion is in modeling. Run the channel Brian Leake and Flat Earth Test. I've got a channel, small one on Rumble and on TikTok. My case for entering this is that I didn't have a whole lot of followers, so I'm not monetized. I've just been doing this looking for the truth, but I have been around this for a long time, and I've never been scared to debate anybody and everybody. I've been on every debate platform, and as far as any Discord, so I'm not the big name brand that y'all were looking for, but I'm very well known in the community. So on both sides, I've probably at one time or another debated 90% of the people actively involved in this community, or debated alongside the people on the flat earth side. And I'm very interested because I do not believe there is a 24-hour sun in Antarctica, man. And I always try to keep it real, man. That's one thing I will, I don't mind humbling myself if I'm wrong about something. I'm always trying to keep it real. I'd love to see it for myself.
Cool. Yeah. So the reason I chose you as a finalist is because you run a pretty popular YouTube channel called Flat Earth Tests, and I've seen you make the rounds in the debate circuit. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what Flat Earth Tests means?
Yeah, I named it Flat Earth Test originally because that name wasn't working, and I wanted to test everything. I didn't want to come off as somebody certain about anything, and I did kind of go down that road a little while, but I'm a hands-on type of flat earther. I seen your show yesterday with Joe Harvey. Hats off to him because he's also hands-on. He likes to show things, and but to me, the math plays a good deal, a good part of it. But I did that channel to do demonstrations and try and show as many tests as we can. I've done tests on drop rates, on air pressure, you name it. I'm a hands-on guy, so I like to see things. To me, the old saying "talk is cheap," man, is pretty accurate. At some point, you got to show your work.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, Brian. Okay. Up next is Cassidy. Hey, Cassidy.
Hi. Hey, nice to meet you, Will.
Yeah, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Cassidy. I'm actually from Southern Maryland, but I recently moved to New York State up by Lake Erie. So lots of potential for flat earth tests. I'm a huge fan of that channel, Brian. So
Cool.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. So the reason I chose you as a finalist is because of your story. You have a rocky past, which you don't have to go into details on, But the thing that I loved about your story is that you had your daughter at 19, and that seemed to really change your life. So tell us a little bit more about you.
Yeah, okay. I definitely follow my heart, and my first real big experience with that was dropping out of college, and yeah, it's been rough, but definitely grown a lot along the way. And I'm always searching for truth and trying to learn and just be a good role model and build a good future and world for my daughter. So
Awesome.
that's me homeschooling her now. So everything is coming together.
Cool. And you have her blessing to go?
Yes, she officially gave me her blessing and wants me to go. And she is a bit of a flat earther. She's not totally, I don't try to convince her of anything, but she's kind of a flat earther. So she's on my team.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for applying. I really did enjoy reading your story, and just it was a story of survival. So,
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. That means a lot. Thanks for seeing that.
okay, cool.
All right.
All right. Let's see here. Okay. Up next is my man, Crumb. Crumb, how are you? You're muted.
Hey, how's it going, Will? Good to see you again.
Yeah. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Chris Crumb. I have a channel called Don't Follow Crumb on YouTube. It's more of we talk about flat Earth a lot, but I don't do proofs as much, but more focus on the psychological, um, transitioning that many flat earthers go through, and try to have a space where we can kind of talk about our personal experiences of how it affects us. And so, yeah, that's what I've been doing for about 4 years now.
Awesome. Yeah, I chose you as a finalist because you've got a great reputation in the flat Earth community. I feel like pretty much everybody knows who you are, but I also like your style.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had
I try to
we
get
had
a
a good
little
interview.
style. Sure.
Keep going.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I try to keep it light. The waking up to flat Earth, in my experience, was very overwhelming, and the psychological transition was like it was overwhelming. It was just very overwhelming. I found it very hard to talk to anybody. Um, because it's so taboo. It's not something you would say to your therapist, and actually they would believe you. They'd probably prescribe you something for being crazy. So it left this void where we were all just trying to figure out, like, is this really normal? Is this really happening to us? Um, and I believe it, like the whole flat Earth movement, as it should, really focus on the proofs, and that's definitely necessary. And I went down that road, and I learned a lot of stuff. But what I found was, it we weren't really talking about all the side effects of waking up to flat Earth, how it affects our family, our friends, our relationships, and how much of that is, us, our fault, or their fault, because we tend to play victim roles very quick, and get mad at anybody who doesn't see it our way. And it's really just, it's a need for connection, but without there's no like handbook on how to go through this. And I think most people just pretend like it doesn't bother them and just say, the hell with them. I don't who needs my family anyway if they won't see it my way. Well, to me, that's it. There has to be a better way, and so I always try to focus on that, because it seems like there's just not a lot of talk about those kinds of things. And whether it is flat or not, there's a lot of people that believe it. I definitely believe it. And so I know there are a lot of people who have probably made the same mistakes I have, after I understood this. And so, yeah, that's kind of my whole style, is keeping the vibes high, having empathy for both sides, talk about what's really going on, getting our ego in check, and trying to salvage the relationships that matter as we continue to go on this journey.
Yeah, you also bring humor to it, which I love.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
there's so much tension and animosity and division. And so I do appreciate that. And so I'm really glad you applied here.
Sure. Yeah. I came out with a video called Flatterall, which is it's a medication for flat earthers to help you through it. And it's pretty funny. It's just a little commercial. But I noticed during the lockdowns as well that the stuff that I did that was funny, it didn't rub anybody the wrong way when I was trying to convey a message. And I think there's a lot to it. It's a lot harder than just saying what's on your mind. You have to be creative, but I think it's worth it because people get triggered really easily when you're questioning other people's beliefs and you're attacking them. And there's a fine line there, and I'm always trying to find that.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Up next is Jeff. Jeff, how's it going?
That's going great. How about you, Pastor Duffy?
Great. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, Jeff Schmidt from Grand Rapids, Michigan area. Been flat Earth leaning for about 7 years now, I guess. So yeah, it's been interesting. I got into it originally because I'm a mortgage guy originally, and then insurance and whatnot. And when I found out the word mortgage meant death grip after I got my license, I was like, okay, this probably is not a good thing. And then just going down that rabbit hole for the financial side of things, that was kind of my trip into the beginnings of what's been going on. I figure, okay, wait a minute, they're lying about this. They're lying about reading my Bible. I'm like, they're lying about evolution. I'm like, okay, what else are they lying about? And so that was my journey there, was just starting down that rabbit hole, and just one video after another and one research paper after another. And so that was kind of how I got started.
Cool. So Jeff, I want to tell you that I chose you as a finalist because your story just absolutely broke my heart.
Oh, go. All right.
And you don't have to talk about it, but I just want you to know that.
No worries.
It was very, very impactful for me.
Well, again, yeah, it's just a weird, that was part of down the rabbit hole, was a business partner who stole, money, and our company went down and blah, blah, blah. And then the wife left when I was doing research on the flat earth. And now, of course, it's been used against me in court for our custody battle. So it does cause a rift, shall we say? If it's like, well, why are you upset? If I want to believe in Santa Claus, let me believe in Santa Claus. But yeah, it's definitely caused some interesting issues. That's why I had a company, a nonprofit called Pray It Forward. We're trying to help people get out of financial problems. And then when this whole flat earth thing happened, and she left, and trying to give her everything to keep the family together, that didn't end up working out. And so now that's the tool she's using to keep my kids from me, which is interesting. So I started Flat Earth just because I want to get the Christians and the churchgoers, the financial people, the merchandisers, the suppliers. I want to get all of us on the same page. The Globers, the Flat Earth. Again, if we can have just a discussion, and let's get this thing figured out. That's why I loved the final experiment. I like the one around the flying the planes in opposite directions as well. But this one to me is a huge thing. So I'm super pumped. If I could, be a part of that, that would be great. Because if I could either put it to rest and go back to my normal life, that would be great. But if not, okay, well then I gotta, get out there and start hammering on some more church doors so we can get us all facing the same page, because we're getting crushed by the beast system and the financial world, and with what they got going in our food, and the rest of it is just amazing. So I'm just hoping to find out one way or the other. I don't care what the truth is. I just want to find out what the truth is so I can take that road, take that split, and start heading in a more positive direction. So, and this would help, my child custody case if I wasn't a flat earther anymore. So, but anyway, so that was it.
Can you tell everybody about your past experience on a TV show?
Oh, well, yeah, well, just kind of silliness. Back in the day when I was thinking we had the world by the tail, America's Funniest People came around and they were doing live auditions. Anybody could audition. And so I did a stupid little thing, bug on a windshield, and I got to be on their show for the beginning and the end of for 2 seasons. So it was great. I got to be my foot in the door because I always wanted to be a movie director. I went to film school and the rest of it when I got older. And so that was my thing. Is I was like, okay, this is it. I'm starting down the trail. I'm gonna be famous. I'm gonna make movies. It's gonna be great. Didn't end up happening that way. I made some bad, family choices for for the wives and things like that. But I was kind of proud of that. I was like, okay, I was America's Funniest People for 2 years, and I'm looking forward to doing movies, and I want to do comedies and that kind of thing. At some point, I want to get the Duff beer. So I want to have a Pastor Duff beer contest here while we're in Antarctica. I can buy you a Duff beer. But so I'm just looking forward to doing some interesting things again. Follow the dream of making movies again. If I can do it with Flat Earth, that would be awesome. If I can combine financial with churches with Flat Earth and just go from there, that'd be a dream come true, and I can finally have a what I would call a purpose in life again. So
cool. Well, thanks so much for submitting an entry. I'm glad you did.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me even considered. This is tremendous. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. All right, up next is my man Josh. Josh,
how you doing, brother? Thank you so much for having me. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I am in a different spot than I normally am. Usually I'm downstairs and I have a different background, but I was like, I better put something because I'm sitting in the closet. I'm just taking a break from work real quick just to come on and say hello.
Yeah, thanks so much. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Josh Monday. I'm from the Josh Monday Christian and Conspiracy Podcast. My YouTube is Josh Monday Music and Podcast. I've debated people on biblical cosmology. I've also debated whether the Bible teaches cosmology. I have about 206 episodes out, and we go over everything from biblical cosmology. We take a conspiracy, show you how it relates to the Bible, and we got 206 episodes, and it's running strong, and I've had Pastor Will Duffy on, and I've also had a lot of people on that you guys have already heard of, Dave Weiss, Mark Sargent, allegedly Dave, Jaron, just a whole list of people, Jesus Freak Computer Geek, everybody. And also I had Matt and I had Pastor Dean Odell on actually too.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks, Josh. One of the reasons I chose you as a finalist is because you are an Army veteran. And
yes, sir.
That means a lot to me. And so thank you for your service.
No worries, man. I appreciate it. Yeah. If I just I teach out of the Bible, and I think the Bible in Psalms 19:1 through 6, it says that the sun does a circuit, to the ends of the heavens. Right. So I do believe that. And also like Ecclesiastes 1 verse 5, it says that, if you click on it in the Hebrew, it says that the sun goes away and then it comes forth, go forth and come forth. So I do believe the sun is circling our head. So also in Joshua 10 verses 12, it says that God made the moon and the sun stop. So this is important for me too, man, because I'm teaching out of the Bible and I want to make sure when I face God and, in the end, he says, well done, good and faithful servant. So this is part of the experiment where I think you could take that and say, hey, it matches with the globe. It doesn't match with the AE map, but I'm not saying that the AE map has anything to do with biblical cosmology. It's not the map coming out of the Bible. It's just an experiment or observation that we're going to do that'll kind of help us to figure things out. We gotta redo our map if it's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, anyway, man, I really enjoyed our interview together. It was probably my favorite interview from the Flat Earth side. And so I'm really glad you applied.
I appreciate you, and I appreciate you guys putting up the money, and whoever is putting up the money, if I do get chosen, I would like to say thank you. But every time I debate, if you check my debates out, my first debate, I was a little too aggressive. And then after that, I'm treating people with kindness, and no matter if they're a Glober or whatever they are. So I think it's best to stop the division, stop the everyone's a shill, and let's study the Bible and learn what's true with our cosmology.
Awesome, man. Thanks, man. I appreciate you.
No problem.
Okay. Up next is Liz. Hey.
Hi, Will.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Can you introduce yourself?
Yes. So I'm Liz, and I live in the South. I'm originally a Pennsylvania girl. Hardcore conspiracy theorist ever since I was 18 years old, forever a black sheep in my family. And I became a flat earther a few years ago. And what actually led me down this rabbit hole was trying to essentially disprove the flat earth. I thought, this is silly. Like, there's no way that the earth could be flat. And it humbled me in a sense, because as I started digging more, I started coming to things and realizations. And within the last couple of years, it's definitely provided me the opportunity to dig deeper into myself. That's one of the reasons what I told you, it's been a very deeply spiritual journey for me. And within the last year or so, I am actually moderating and one of the main administrators, sorry, I'm so nervous, on this audio app called Clubhouse. We are Flat Earth Gang, not a real gang. And we engage in conversations and debates with Globe Earth and Flat Earth. Through this experience, I've been able to meet amazing people from both sides. We've actually gone past the point where we're just having conversations and we're actually putting these claims to the test. As you know, I have a very close friend who works from NASA, of course, a Glober, and we have been conducting these observational experiments now for the last 6 months and so forth. And it's given the space kind of like something that added special niche, where it's just, instead of just sitting around and talking about it, let's actually go out there. Let's get it done. We always talk about the scientific method. So let's be scientific about it. And I'm here for the truth. I don't monetize. I don't have a platform. I don't have a huge following. And I'm really just here to collaborate and, come to that moment of clarity.
Awesome. Yeah. So what stood out to me about you is, like you said, that you have a friend who works for NASA, and it sounds like you guys are, doing experiments together, which I think is super cool. I'll also tell you that you have quite a fan club. So I have heard from a lot of people who really want you to win. So I'm really glad you applied.
Thank you. And good luck to everybody.
Thanks. Okay, let's see here. Up next is Riz. Riz, how's it going?
How you doing? Hi, Will. Hi, everyone. How you doing? I'm Riz. I'm from Nottingham in the UK, so I sound a lot different to all the rest of you. But I'm on TikTok most of the time as a flat earther. Basically, I've been debating for the last 4 years on TikTok. I've debated with all the famous TikTok globies and basically pushed them to their limits. I've educated all the globies on TikTok because they always seem to think they're so clever, and that flat earthers, there's no clever flat earthers, no scientists among the flat earth community. Well, I am one of those. And this image here is of the sun that I took just yesterday. And that's with the Hydrogen Alpha telescope. So hopefully, if I get the opportunity to go to Antarctica, I'll do the same thing there. Check the size of the sun, the angular size of the sun, make sure it's the same in Antarctica, because if it's closer to the firmament over there, it should be different somehow. Hopefully, we'll be able to find those differences. If you take just people who are not scientific in any way, just want to see the sun rotate, yeah, that's fantastic. You'll prove one aspect, but flat earthers require a lot more evidence. We want to see a lot more detail. And a lot of my flat earth buddies, there's 4 channels on TikTok going right now, and they are asking for a lot more, precise measurements, a lot more evidence being taken. And hopefully I can be that person for them. And they definitely don't want no military people going, definitely don't want no NASA agents going on the flat earth side. So I'm that person, and hopefully I hope that I can do it. My flat earth journey started when I was about 14 years old at college, or as in the UK, we call it secondary school. And I was learning physics, and I asked my physics teacher, because I'm a believer in God, and I do a lot of research into eschatology, the end times. And one of the signs of the end times is that you will have 3 days of darkness and the sun will rise from the west. So that says to me that the sun is the thing that's moving, not the earth. And in order to work that out, that's the reason why I came into flat earth, and I researched it, and I realized that it's the sun and moon that move around us, and it's not the earth rotating. And that's my belief, whether you agree with it or not, but that's what I believe. And I believe the earth is flat. Hopefully that covers a bit of that. But shout out to Pookie and all my other homies on TikTok who are watching 4 streams right now.
Yeah. So Riz, what stood out to me about your application was that you became Flat Earth at such a young age, 14 years old. And if I'm not mistaken, you actually did a live experiment and broadcast it worldwide, which is what we're hoping to do with TFE.
Yeah. So I did the Eratosthenes experiment on TikTok. So I was working with the TikTok Globies, the professors. I'm not going to name them because they might not want to be named, but we're talking PhD physicists, and we're talking aerospace engineers, and many other scientists among that field, as well as me being a flat earther and my flat earth friends who helped out. So it was Virginia, Niagara Falls, South Africa, Argentina, and also UK and one other area that we measured the sun from live, and we measured the subsolar point, and we took shadow measurements with a 1 meter stick, and we measured the angle and the elevation of the sun and how long the sticks were, the shadows cast by the sun. And then we worked out whether those met up to a point. And what we found out is that it came to both. It fit both the globe model and fit the flat earth model. If you have the same latitude and longitudes for the 4 measurements, you will have a flat earth prediction that is accurate. But if you have multiple measurements at different latitudes and longitudes, that would work out for a globe. And that kind of lost me some flat earth friends, and it gained me some globe friends. And then it started more of a division amongst people saying that, oh, Riz is a glober, or, you know, he's doing things for the globe side and this, that, the other. So, you know, when you get evidence, you've got to take factual evidence, and you can't deny what you see. So hopefully this Antarctic experiment will allow us to do that. And I'll try to do the experiment as best as I can if I get the opportunity. But
cool.
Thanks for doing this, Will.
Yeah, thanks for applying.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Up next is Shauna. Shauna.
I go by Bella.
Okay.
I'm
Bella.
only Shauna on paper when I have to be.
How are you?
Nervous, like super nervous. I'm sitting here with my twin sister who thinks I'm nuts because I need some moral support.
Yeah, so that was one of the cool things I loved about your application.
I kind of thought so.
Is that you have an identical
Not
twin
cool.
sister.
There she is.
Not cool. You're making her crazy. Thanks.
I just can't imagine having an identical twin where you've got
thinks
one
you're crazy, yeah.
one glober and one flat earther. So can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Shauna Salzetti. Like I said, I go by Bella. Nobody in the world knows me by my actual name. So I'm back living in my hometown now for about 4 years, a little boring place called Logan, Utah. And funny thing, one of the things that guy was just saying was how he was turned so young. This is a really Mormon community here, and a lot of Mormons raise their kids flat earth and creationists and all that stuff. So I kind of heard it off and on through, you know, my life, but I never, like, it just wasn't a thing. I was super duper into space and everything as a kid, like just space and dinosaurs, man. That was my thing, you know. And many, many moons later, here I am, a flurfer girl.
Awesome. Yeah. So something actually really affected me in your application, which you probably wouldn't have anticipated, but it was just the fact that you were moved to tears with this opportunity.
I'm almost on the verge of tears right now. Like, I'm a very emotional person. Like, this is killing me.
Well, I can tell you that it meant a lot to me, because when you have an opportunity like this, that's truly a once in a lifetime opportunity, and you're sitting in my seat and just having people reject it and spit all over it and make fun of you and all that kind of stuff, it's difficult. And so I truly felt your gratitude and your excitement that came through your application.
Good. I was hoping I wouldn't just sound like a rambling lunatic.
No,
sorry,
no.
I'm doing this on my phone. I haven't had a home computer for years, so sorry if I'm all shaky and out of focus and everything.
No, it's okay. I'm really glad you applied.
Well, I'm glad you had me. It means a ton to me.
Awesome. All right. Okay. Up next is Trent. Trent, how are you?
What's going on, everybody? Doing great. Doing great. I'm Trent Broach. I'm from Denver, Colorado. You know, I'm an ex-tennis tour pro. I used to play professional poker for Ultimate Bets. I was also on a reality TV show called Labor of Love. So anybody that recognizes me from that, I'm a flat earther. Whatever, get over it. Um, you know, I'm also a lifelong Christian, and one thing that kind of blew me away is I've read the Bible many times, and then as I approached it with fresh eyes, it shocks me at how much it's obviously a flat Earth document. So, that's something that really stood out to me and has kind of changed my life.
Yeah, cool. So Trent, I thought it was cool that we're neighbors in
Yeah, a couple of
Colorado.
miles. Couple
Yeah.
of miles.
And I also like that you were a former tennis pro. I have a new appreciation for tennis in my adult life. It is way harder than it looks.
Oh yeah.
I can tell you that I've got a pretty extensive athletic past, and just learning how to properly serve was easily the hardest thing I've ever had to do sports-wise.
Oh, easily. Throw a football to help you out.
Yeah, and then also I thought it was cool that you were on a reality show, and as far as I could tell, you were a bit of a fan favorite.
Yeah, I mean, it was seen by millions of people. So, the flat Earth community is a tight little niche of people. It's like a echo chamber, if you will. And so I think one thing that could help me be chosen for this is I got a lot of connections, including the guy that produced Jersey Shore and still does all the spin-offs for it, and some kind of famous connections that I would like to contact just to get the word out. You know what I mean? Not just about this experiment. I truly think the world's flat. I think people should know it. Um, I have been hiding behind an anonymous account on TikTok called Sky Ponderling, but I'm kind of ready to just come out and say, my name's Trent Broach, whatever. Um, on that account, I do observational stuff and then I do polls. So, to me, I don't want to be right just for the sake of being right. I want to know the truth. And I think truth is found through community, just not like, what you're thinking yourself. So I like just putting polls out, saying what everybody else says. Maybe it agrees with me, maybe it doesn't, but I think it's good to hear all that.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool, man. Well, I'm glad you applied, and I might have to hit you up for a tennis lesson one of these days.
Or pickleball, my man.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. We are now going to go to our final finalist, which is going to take us south of the equator. And Wynand, how's it going, man?
Hey, good. Thanks. How are you?
Good, good. Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Wynand, and I'm from South Africa.
Awesome. Yeah, I apologize with my pronunciation there,
No,
but
it's
what I appreciated about you and what stood out to me was, number one, you eat raw meat, which I actually think is cool. I don't do that, but I don't think it's gross or anything like that. And then also, you like to take measurements. You like to measure angles to the sun.
yeah, I've started doing that about the second half of last year. Started looking at the sun. What I did first was look at the 24-hour sun videos in the Arctic, and I found it was quite interesting when you compare the angles that the sun should be making within a 24-hour loop. If you look at the angles between, for example, solar noon and either 6 a.m. or 6 p.m., there should be no parallax to the sun within the heliocentric model, or essentially little to no parallax. But within these videos, as far as the videos I have available, it would seem that there is some parallax. But the interesting thing is when I do the same setup from where I am south of the equator, it seems I get a negative result where I don't have an excess of angles between those time periods, but actually I have less. So that's kind of confusing to me at this point still.
Cool. Well, you're coming to us closer to Antarctica than anybody else, which I think is exciting. And so I'm really glad that you made an application.
Cool.
Thank you. All right. So now is the moment that we've all been waiting for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring everybody onto the stage, and let me work on that right now.
It's got a bake. Yeah. He pulls everyone into
All right,
it.
I'm adding everybody here.
Where's my other phone that you can? There.
Here we go.
Lighting in here is so bad.
Okay, so it's giving me a limit of 10 people, so I'm actually going to remove myself. Actually, if I remove, I know, right? If I remove myself, that means you guys won't be able to hear me anymore, right?
Don't do it.
Well, I don't know. I've never done this before.
Okay,
So.
it's fine.
It's fine.
Huh?
Do a test.
That's what I think. I think
Remove
we should be able
yourself
to
real
hear
quick
you.
and see if we
Okay,
can hear you.
Yeah.
No, we can't hear you
Be
anymore.
wrong.
What's up, you beautiful people? Good to meet
Hey.
other flat earthers.
All right,
everybody.
Everyone.
it's okay. I know how I'm going to handle this. It's all good. Okay, so number one, what I don't want to do is I don't want to pull a Steve Harvey. There was some sort of like a beauty pageant in the past where he read off the wrong name, and that would be embarrassing. All right, so before we do this, I want to tell all of you that I wish you could all go with us. I feel connected to all of you. I consider you friends just because we've gotten to know each other through this. And trust me, I do feel bad that I have to eliminate 9 of you right now. And so please, please, please don't take it personal. Everybody that submitted an entry, we had 40 entries, as I mentioned. Thank you all. I just enjoyed reading your stories and learning more about you. All right.
Will,
So here, yes.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yes.
You don't have to answer, but am I to understand? So you're not the one. You're not the one paying for this golden ticket, but you are the sole judge. You alone.
That's correct. Yep.
Trying to get it.
Okay.
Okay.
I wish I had a chance to say one more thing, man.
You want to say it real fast?
Yeah. I mean, this. I don't know what this trip means to each and every person individually, but I've looked into this. I've already got the predictions on what we should expect if the Earth was a globe, and I've already got certain tests worked out. I've got some equipment. I've got infrared. Anyway, I'm prepared for this, and so this is a quick note to the benefactor. If you got it like that, if you have that much money, there are some eager people on this panel, and it doesn't only have to be one, does it? But I really hope I get to go. If I don't get to go, I'll pass on my equipment. I'll pass on my equipment and my ideas to the people who are. So good luck, guys. Thank you for the last word, Will.
Yep. Thanks, Brian. Okay. So just so you guys know a little bit about me, I like suspense. I like a little bit of drama. I like the element of surprise. Now, again, this does get me in trouble. It gets me in trouble with my wife, and it got me in trouble with the final experiment. Right? I was trying to keep it a surprise, yeah. And so anyway, here's what I'm going to do. And again, please know that we are friends, but I have to narrow this down to one person. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play some music to kind of set the tone. And then I'm just going to remove you guys one at a time. And the last person that remains is the golden ticket winner. So here we go. Let me start the music and then we will go. One down.
Oh my gosh. Good luck, girl.
And we have a winner.
Oh my God! Thank you, God! Thank you, DFP! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my gosh!
It's okay.
Oh
Take
my
a
God.
deep breath.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Congratulations, Liz.
Oh my
It's all
God.
it's okay.
Okay.
You got
Okay.
this.
I'm
You
calm.
got this.
Ooh. Thank you, TFE. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Flat Earth Gang. Thank you, Bert. Thank you, Kelsey. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, everybody. I won't let us down. I'm here for the truth. I promise. Okay. I need a sip of water. I'm so sorry.
You're good. You're good. You're good. So, Liz, you have a very big following, and you have a lot of fans. They trust you, and you're going to be representing a lot of people in Antarctica.
Yes. It's for us. It's for all of us. It's for all of humanity, all of mankind.
I think a lot of people are going to be excited to have you representing the Flat Earth side, and I'm happy to have you aboard as well.
Thank you. I'm so thankful for this opportunity. And one more shout out to Bert Pasquale, my NASA friend. You can Google search him. It's not a secret. He, through his kindness and support, is really what's really been able to push me to dig deeper. And with the support of Flat Earth Gang, has given me the strength to just stand on business and say it with my full chest. I'm a flat earther, baby.
Awesome. Thanks, Liz. I'll be in touch.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us live. That was fun. I wanted to introduce everyone to the people that had applied so you could understand what was going on behind the scenes. And like I said, there's a lot of animosity. There's a lot of division. Part of the spirit behind the final experiment is I wanted to bring both sides together and work together and collaborate and just say, hey, we're human beings. We're fellow human beings. Let's pursue the truth together. And so I think that this is a way of helping, because once you know someone's story, it's very, very hard to have hatred for them. So anyway, thanks, everybody. I'm excited, and we'll have some more updates coming this week. So take care. Bye-bye.